you can tell I'm sold. I'm freaking on Marco Polo. Hey, everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Games Kids today. And only today, we are here to be a little silly, a little stupid even, you know? And what better way to spend your Sunday than, you know what? To rank Sonic game logos. All right, that's right. That's what we are going to be doing today. We are going to be ranking Sonic games based on their logos and icons. So let's sit down for a nice little, yap session as you do. And of course, please consider subscribing to your boy, liking the video. And yeah, guys, we're nearing the end of the year. We're near Game Awards time. We're nearing that time. And I guess my question to you before we begin is, obviously, let me know in the comments, what is your favorite Sonic game logo? But today, I figured we'd go through this one. I have a list of a bunch of them over there, so I figured we'd lock in and see what's up. You know what I'm saying? See like which ones stand out, which ones are kind of booty, butt cheeks, etc. So let's get right into this. So Sonic the Hedgehog. So this is base Sonic 1. Here's the thing. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now, this kind of applies to all three of these over here. I've never been a fan of like the original logo. I feel like it's a little bit too like cartoony in a sense. I know that sounds weird, obviously, because it's a fucking, it's a series about a hedgehog that runs around. But there's something about this logo that's just too like Sonic the Hedgehog with like the different font on Sonic and the Hedgehog. Like, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of this one. I mean, it gets the job done for sure. It's classic for sure, but I don't know, the clashing fonts. You know what the problem is? Like I said, it gives me too much like cartoon vibes as opposed to like video game vibe, if it makes sense. But there's not like much life to it. But obviously, it's, I wouldn't even say this logo is iconic. I mean, it's cool, I guess, but I feel like we're gonna get to much better Sonic icons. So I'm gonna give this one, I'm not gonna lie to you, a C, right? I feel like if anything, this one's worse because it clutters so much clutter over here. The Sonic 2 one around the same, right? So next we have the Sega Sonic. This is the one with Sonic, Mighty, and Ray in it. This is a little bit more cool, right? You have like a bit more of like, it's a little bit more dynamic over here. What happens if I do like, I'm trying to see if I could do this. Yeah, if I have this over here, this is like a solid B, right? Because I think, it's cool that it has the emblem on the back, but it feels like a little cluttered. It's not too much going on. I'm okay with this one. Sonic CD's logo is like, this is as boring as it gets. I mean, it's like, hey, Sonic CD, and the CD is green, and I mean, it's the base. I don't know. I feel like if anything, this one might be worse than any of them because it's so lame, right? And then you got Sonic Chaos over here. Sonic Chaos again, just like it's just like I said, I'm not fond of the old school Sonic logos because they're just so kind of like simple and kind of boring. So I'm gonna have to go with D on that little Sonic Chaos over here, right? We got Sonic Spinball, which a little bit more exciting, nothing too crazy, but at least the pinball is like, what do you call it? Like italic or tilted or whatever. Like, it's not awful, but it's not. I don't know, man. This is rough early on. I feel like later ones really get better. But see, here we go. Right now, like right away, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Right, it's a little bit more dynamic. You have the yellow Sonic and the yellow 3 with the little hedgehog font. It's a little bit more dynamic. Like I feel like the 2 one, you see how like a little bit more dim it is, and the original are dim. Like I think Sonic is known to have like for the most part, when you think of Sonic, like the font is yellow with the background blue. I feel like that hits a little bit more than the original like darker colors on it. Like I don't know, I think there's something about this one that stands out a bit more that I would put it at like the bottom of B over here. All right, see, now we're getting a little funky over here, right? You got the Sonic Drift logo, which I think is fun, right? I think the Sonic is like a little too small, right? And the colors don't like really fit correctly, but you can tell it's a fun logo. So I'll give this one a B, right? I would get a sense of like, ooh, like this looks arcadey, right, when I look at it. So I'm down with that one. This is Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I mean, this is straight up like an actual icon. So I don't know how I feel about like placing this one, but I mean, this goes hard. So I'm gonna give it an A. Why not? You know what I'm saying, bro? And then see, here's my thing. Right, look, the Sonic Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, first of all, as a logo, way too much going on. I think it's like Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. Obviously, it's a meme that and Knuckles is everywhere, but like as a logo, not the best thing in the world, but it's not much significantly worse than like the original 3 logo. But I'm gonna put it like right behind it. You know what I mean? Well, I'm not gonna rank them by row. I'm just gonna put them in the rows. But yeah, I think rank B over here is, I'm okay with that one, right? All right, Sonic the Hedgehog Triple Trouble as a logo. Again, just like a lot going on. You know, Sonic the Hedgehog Triple Trouble, a little bit long. Nothing too fun going on. See, like I said, these early ones are not too fun. I know some of the later ones get a little bit more enjoyable. I'm gonna put this like, again, it does use the yellow font, which I prefer for Sonic, and the text isn't too bad. I'm gonna give it C. We're gonna go with C on this one, right? The Chaotix, this is cool. The Chaotix one is actually fire because you literally feel like, I know I was complaining about that with the original logo of Sonic the Hedgehog, but like here, it's just the Chaotix, and it's all like a cartoony, weird logo. Like, it's fun. It's fun. I'm gonna give that one a B. Nothing too crazy, nothing too bad about it. But you know, it's not really. It's not doing too much. Oh, look, Sonic Drift 2 right over here. The eye is being blocked by the 2, which I find kind of fucking weird if you think about it. Like, it's just blocking it, and I mean, it's fun. So I'll give it that, right? I don't know. I don't think it's much better than the original. Right? I'd put them like kind of side by side over here, right? What else we got? We got Sonic Labyrinth. Again, man, they were not cooking with these early Sonic game logos, bro. It's almost like they weren't trying, bro. Like, come on, what is this? Sonic Labyrinth with like the squeezed text. I'm going D on this one, bro. I don't fuck with that one, man. Come on. I need some joy and whimsy. Like, for example, here we got Sonic Blast over here as a logo. I'm trying to think, like, when it comes to Sonic Blast, I like, you know, the extended text, right? You have that sort of, I think it's 90s style that they've got going on, late 90s. It's fun. I do like the Sonic 3D Blast one a little bit more. It pops out a bit. You know, I'd give this like, you know, B, and then I'd give the original like a C. It's not bad. It stands out at least. Dude, you want to talk about what I think is like an S tier logo right here? Sonic the Fighters. First of all, as a name, Sonic the Fighters is gas, right? Second of all, you have a logo that has Sonic in it, right? Which is cool with the fist up, right? You've got, I mean, the only thing I would say maybe is like a flaw with this is like the clashing text fonts, but I mean, I don't know. I fuck with this one a lot, bro. There's something about, you know, the flares on the side, Sonic with the fist, Sonic of the Fighters as a name logo that stands out a little bit. Maybe you could argue like the font of Sonic here is a little odd. Maybe we'll put it top of A. You know, maybe I'll keep S for like the elite gaming ballers. Sonic R. As a logo, Sonic R, I mean, it's kind of cool, right? You have like the flag in the background, the checkered flag, which is cool. The yellow Sonic font with the background blue. The R having like a little, you know, little speed, little bit of a quill look to it. I think this logo is fun. You know, is it cooler than Sonic the Fighters or the Sonic 3, the Sonic and Knuckles one? I wouldn't say that, but I'd put it like a, you know, top of B. I think it's a super, like, you know, it's fun. It's a fun logo. Nothing too crazy going on in it. Now, Sonic Adventure. I've always thought Sonic Adventure 1's logo is kind of like weird, right? Like it's like this stone background or like this wooden background with like the ocean in the middle of it that says Sonic Adventure. Like, I don't know. Like, you let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but there's something about this one that's like weird to me whenever I look at it. As much as I love like Sonic Adventure, I just think like that sort of, I get what they're going for, you know, because chaos, water, but looking at it as a logo, I don't know, man. I would go like B on it, you know, nothing too crazy, right? And then we got, what do we got here? Sonic Pocket Adventure. This is a little too like colors, you know, like the red, the yellow, with the tilted text, but it's I don't know, this one's a C for me. I'm not feeling that one to its Sonic Shuffle. This one's fun, right? You got the Sonic, you know, in the box, and the Shuffle has the different like card colors over here. Like, I kind of fuck with this one. This one's pretty cool. It's a little simple, right? It goes into like, I feel like you're gonna notice the ones in like A or higher have some kind of like symbol or character or thing on them that's exemplary. You know what is exemplary though? Like through and through. Let me tell you what, bro. Let me tell you what's really exemplary over here. Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic Adventure 2's logo is so sick because you have the blue Sonic quill on the top, you've got the dark shadow with the red on the bottom, the Sonic Adventure 2, the speedy font. Like, this one to me is absolutely awesome. I'd give this one an A. You know, I'd give this one an A. It gets to the point of the game like super well. And again, the blue and black is so good that they even used it for Sonic Movie 3's logo. So yeah, no, it's gotta be up there, right? Then you got the Sonic Advance game. Sonic Advance as a logo, I mean, what do you guys think? Because I'm thinking like it's cool, you know, like it's like it's the Sonic text. It's like this is the modern Sonic text we get over here, where it's like Sonic with the yellow, which I like, and then the Advance. It's not bad. I feel like these are like C's, you know. Not, I mean, I'd give them even like, yeah, I'd give them B. There's nothing that makes me. There's nothing about the logo that stands out too much. Now, you want to talk about an exciting logo? Sonic Pinball Party, bro. Okay, I know it looks stupid, but look how fun this logo is, right? You've got like the circular background, right? You've got like the 2 pins on the corner. You've got like, I know there's like 3 colored text, but there's something about this that like pops out, like Sonic Pinball Party, right? Like, I don't know, there's something about all the circulars going on here, you know, the light. I don't know, there's something about the circulars, there's something about the circles, the colors, everything about the Sonic Pinball Party logo that stands out a bit. Maybe I'm crazy, but bro, banger logo over here. Sonic Battle, bro. Dude, Sonic Battle, this one's fire, dude. Literally, it has fire in it. You've got like the battle with like the cool flamey font over here. This one's also gonna be an A. Like, look at it. It's a fun, dude. That's a fun logo right there. I'm looking at that shit. I'm like, damn, what's going on in this game? And obviously, you know, it's a fighting game, so the flare stands out a bit more. Like, nah, I fuck with that one heavy. They cooked. Sonic Heroes, a classic, you know, Sonic game, depending on who you ask. This one, I think, also a really good logo, right? You've got like the blue, red, yellow for you know, the Team Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, right? You've got, obviously, it's the mechanic in the game where you rotate between the characters. Even like, actually, I never realized how different the text font is over here with the black background and how like cartoony, like zoom, like what do you call text that's like inward, like it goes like sort of inside like this. I really like this, and I would even put this. I'd put this in A. You know, it's on the same tier of Sonic Adventure 2 for me. I think like the logo tells you kind of what the game is, and it's dope. Like I fuck with it absolutely heavy. Again, Sonic Advance 3 kind of just goes with like the other Sonic Advance games. There's nothing too crazy about it. It's kind of like to the point. If anything, the green kind of like makes it blah a little bit. But you know what isn't blah? Shadow the Hedgehog, right? Shadow the Hedgehog's game logo is cool. You've got like the shadow emblem hovering around it. You know, it's black and red like Shadow, so that like stands out a little bit. I'd give it like a B. You know, nothing too crazy about it, nothing bad about it. I'll fuck with Shadow heavy. You know how I am. Sonic Rush. I mean, look at Sonic Rush as a logo. It doesn't scream like speed, right? I feel like it's just kind of like it's Sonic Rush, right? You know, I'd give it even as like a C. Like, I'm actually kind of low-key offended that they didn't do too much more with that. Oh shit, banger logo. Sonic Riders, bro. Damn, this one kind of goes hard with the silhouette of Sonic as part of it with the extended R, and then you get the board here. Shit, is this? This one might be an S for me, bro. That one might be an S for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I love this one. Again, it has like the, you know, and dude, oh, even like the, oh yeah, it's the R for Riders that's red, and it's like extended to be like its own board. And you, again, the Sonic silhouette, the text, everything. I don't know, maybe I'm glazing a little bit, but I think this one is super dynamic. I'm gonna leave that one in S for now. Maybe we can retool it, right? And then we got, what do we got? Sonic the Hedgehog. This is OG Sonic the Hedgehog. Well, not OG Sonic the Sonic 06. I mean, this one, I get it. They went back to basics because that's like the point of it, right? You know, to be like, you know, back to old school. Well, it's kind of a C. I mean, it's Sonic the Hedgehog, right? It's nothing too crazy over there, right? But then we got, what do we got? Sonic Rivals. Sonic Rivals is cool, actually. I fuck with, like, you know, again, the tilted text with the orange background with the black in the back. Like, it stands out a little bit. Like, I'd go a solid B with this one, right? Nothing too crazy about this. Then we got Sonic and the Secret Rings. Sonic and the Secret Rings, by the way, I love Sonic. Sonic and the Secret Rings. This one's pretty cool, right? You've got the O with like the flame on top of it, you know, igniting from Sonic, which is a cool style over here. Even the font is pretty cool. Like, I fuck with this one. I would give this like a. Like, again, like top of B around that area. Like, it stands out, but it's nothing like too crazy. Then you got Sonic Rush Adventure, which, see, this one's a little bit more dynamic than OG Rush. You know, you've got like the wheel or the compass in the background to identify the adventure a little bit with the tilted text. Like, again, marginal improvement from original Sonic Rush. So I'm going to put that in B. Sonic Rivals 2. Again, the Sonic Rivals logo, we looked at it here. It's pretty good, and this one's just kind of like an upgraded version of it. I really like it. I'm gonna put it in B, right? All right, next up we got Sonic Riders Zero Gravity. Bro, you got rid of the silhouetted Sonic. Come on, man. But I do like, you know, the two little red forward arrows, you know, to identify like going forward. It's a racing game. The Zero Gravity with the green kind of being a little crazy and zany. Again, nothing too crazy about this. I'm gonna put this in B. A marginal step down from this original Riders one that's like so good. Then you've got Sonic Chronicles The Dark Brotherhood. Again, nothing fun is going on with this logo. I mean, Sonic Chronicles The Dark Brotherhood. I mean, it's like a C. Has like a, I don't know, yeah, I don't know. Next up, we got Sonic Unleashed. You can't really see it because it's tied to the back here, but there's like a little slash in the middle of it. This one, again, like obviously I love Sonic Unleashed, but it's pretty simple. See, I feel like this is when like some of them lose the zaniness. See, the rank A's you can tell are like the late 90s, early 2000s zaniness. This is when you enter the 2006, 2007 era. The slash in the background gives this one points, I guess, but it is still like as a logo pretty simple. Nothing too crazy going on. Then you got Sonic and the Black Knight, which I've always thought is a cool logo because you've got like the sword in the background and it's going through the O over here. So I fuck with this one. I would almost give it like an A because you kind of know what you're getting into from the Sonic and the Black Knight. It has like a, you know, the gray color or not color palette in that sense, like, you know, the gray and black with the sword in the background. I think it's pretty cool. I'd give that like a nice solid A over here. Then you've got Sonic at Sega All-Stars Racing. A little bit crowded, right? But I do like, you know, the flags on the side of this one. I'm gonna give this one's a B. It's definitely fun, but there is a lot going on without a lot going on. You know what I'm saying, bro? And then you got Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1. All right. I will not lie to you, right? This is game aside. I will say as a logo, at least this one's kind of fun, right? Like you've got Sonic, you've got the emblem in there, right? You know, and it's cool, right? It's the wordful is a lot, but as a logo, I think this one like always stood out to me when I was younger. Again, this is the only time Sonic 4 would get like, you know, big props, but I don't know, like I said, the Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1, yeah, no, I think as a logo, it is still super cool. I like the emblem in the back and everything, and again, it's like a callback to the Sega Sonic well, technically it's a callback to the opening title of Sonic in general, but you know, I feel like it's a better version of that Sega Sonic one. I give it A. You know, let me have this one, bro. Let me lock in this world. Sonic Free Riders, again, follows the original style, a game where like, you know, the R is extended over here again, but just like lack of a Sonic silhouette, but you do have like the tilted text for Free Riders. But again, just, you know, I like the FR emphasized as red over. I'm gonna give it like I'm gonna go C. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's nothing too crazy about this. And then we've got Sonic Colors and Sonic Colors DS. I've always liked the Sonic Colors logo. I mean, obviously all the colors are the different wisps in there, which I think is clever if you play the game. But again, not too crazy as like a logo. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing too crazy is going on here as a logo. But the colors, you know, they feel so right. The colors feel so right. You know, it stands out a bit. You're like, whoa, freaky colors, right? I'm living my life. And then you got, what do you got? Sonic Generations. I feel like they could have done a bit more, right? For the Sonic Generations logos. Like, there could have been more going on to the Sonic Generations. And then this one's for 3DS. Like, I'm almost disappointed. I'm going to put this one in C. I get what they were going on with the gold font. Like, oh, anniversary. I give them that, you know? But it's like, it's still super, super simple. And then you got Sonic 4 Episode 2, which adds Tails to the title screen. I give that an A. It's the same as this one, but Tails is there now. So Nothing too much going on. I mean, it's a little bigger. You could actually, the wings upgrade it, but that's because Tails is there, you know, and he's got his best friend as an upgrade. Next up, we've got Sonic Jump for mobile. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go see on this side. I mean, it's fun, but what the hell is it? What are you doing for me? You know, what are you doing for me? Sonic Racing All-Stars Transform. I'd put on the same league as Sonic and Racing All-Stars Racing, right? They're kind of like similar style. If anything, the All-Stars Transform one is like a little bit more cleaned up, which is kind of cool. Sonic Dash, I actually like the Sonic Dash one. I feel like the Sonic Dash one, like, literally, you know, looks like it's dashing forward with, like, you know, the little line in the corner over here, and the blue is for dash, which makes sense for Sonic. I fuck with this one. I'd give that like a solid B. You know, I'd give that a bit of life. Sonic Lost World. Sonic Lost World as a logo. What are we thinking, guys? I'm thinking, you know, a little zany on the text font over here, but nothing too much going on. I'm gonna go in the C category for this one. Sonic Jump Fever. Now you've got like the fever emphasized, but the fever looks. See, let me tell you what the problem with the fever is. I think you guys could all agree with this, right? The fever looks like it's like a discount, you know, like when something's like 30% off. That's what the fever kind of looks like here. So I'm kind of, if anything, I might put this in D for kind of ruining it and looking like a discount. Then you've got Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, which I like to emphasize, you know, red on the boom, right? And then you've got Rise of Lyric and Shattered Crystal. I like the boom logo. I think the boom logo for me is gonna go in like B, right? I think it's cool. Rise of Lyric and Shattered Crystal, you know, as like bottom text here are okay, but you can tell like they're going for the branding of Sonic Boom, which stands out a little bit over these subtitles. So I'm gonna give them B. All right, next up we've got Sonic Runners. Dude, for me, the Sonic Runners logo, see, this is like dynamic to me, right? Like you've got the text that's like all like over each other. You've got like the star over here. There's something about this logo that feels really premium, even though it's like super simple. I would have liked a bit more, you know, maybe if there's like a Sonic. I think this logo had like, you know, maybe a Sonic quill or something going through it. I think I might have given this an S, but this one of all the simple text fonts, I would give like an A. There's something, like I say, I think you guys will know what I'm talking about when you're like looking at it. There's something about like the star symbol, and it feels a little dynamic. I don't know, I fuck with it heavy. I actually, Sonic Dash 2, Sonic Boom, this logo is really cool because this literally just did what I wanted from the other one, right? It adds like Sonic's quills in the 2, right? And this is actually kind of a clever logo if you look at it. The 2 that's orange is like signifying like the Boom logo, which I think is like really clever. I would give this one an A because, again, I always give props if like the logo has like the quills integrated into them, right? And yeah, I just think it's like a really good, you know, logo. I'll fuck with it heavy. It's pretty simple and clean. Then you got, you know, this one, back to the basics over here. Sonic Runners Adventure. See, this one has Sonic's quills. It does lose a little bit of like, you know, the star shine from the original, right? So it's almost like these two need to fuse and get together. But there's something about this one that feels a little bit more like dry, as opposed to how like joyous the Runner's Adventure one is. I'm gonna go B because you did kind of ruin like what you had going on here. I would have liked, you know, Sonic Runner's Adventure with the Sonic quill running through it would have been lit. Then you got Sonic Mania as a logo. Sonic Mania is fun. I would say, you know, the Mania text is like, it pops out a little bit more. You've got the yellow Sonic font. I feel like it's like a step over maybe the OG, but I don't know. I'd put it in C rank. It doesn't stand out too much over stuff like the advanced games. And then we've got Sonic Forces. Now Sonic Forces as a logo, I mean, it does the job, right? It gets like the army sort of vibe, which like I can't be too mad at. And then you had Sonic Forces Speedboat, which is like the same thing. I don't know what Sonic Forces, I like the star in the background, but it feels so like not Sonic, but at the same time, like I said, it's going for like the military vibe, which like the game is aiming for. So I give it a B. I feel like a B is a good spot for Sonic Forces as a logo over here. You've got Team Sonic Racing, which, you know, I feel like if anything is like a worse version of, you know, Sonic All-Stars, because those ones at least felt dynamic, whereas this one feels like, let's go for like the clean premium racing one. So I don't know, because it's a step down, I might give this one a C for Team Sonic Racing's logo. And it's like the small team right over there. I don't know, I'm not a fan of it. Sonic Frontiers logo. I actually really like Sonic Frontiers logo because, like, you know, you've got like the blue with like the glitchy text. It makes you think there's something going on with technology. So it does a good job of indicating what the game is like. But, you know, obviously the white font is, you know, very simple and clean. I'm going to give it a B. Like I said, I like the added feeling of like glitchiness with the Frontiers. And then you've got the blue for like the cyberspace entries. So I'm gonna give it, it's a nice B. You know, I'm not too mad at it for existing. Then we've got Sonic Superstars, which I think is like a fun logo, right? Like nothing too crazy. I think, you know, I like the stars in the corners indicating the different characters. Like, you know, you got the blue, yellow, red, and pink for the main gang, right? I would have liked, you know, maybe like silhouettes of the characters, but the stars are pretty clever. Again, I think I'm gonna go B on this one. Nothing too dynamic. It's pretty standard, but a good B. You know, I think we can give it a nice little B. Then we've got the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. I like this logo. You know, it gives like a premium feel. It has like a sort of like that front of the office style. It's enjoyable. Like I said, I think a character on it would have stood out a little bit, but for the most part, the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog with like the light text and then of Sonic the Hedgehog and it's like the game logo. I think this one's pretty cool. It stands out to me a little bit. I don't know why I'm giving it an A, but I feel like, you know, there's something about it that is cool. It gives very like TV show logo, which I think, you know, is pretty cool. Then we've got Sonic Racing Crossroads, which again, the simple font, the R though, you know, with the little scratch on it to indicate like Sonic R, and then the cross on the bottom with the worlds being emphasized. That's pretty cool. I would give it a B. Nothing too crazy going on in Sonic Racing Crossroads logo. And then we've got Sonic Rumble, which is very cute, right? Like you've got like the crown over Sonic with like the inwards TV in the background, and then you've got like the different colors for Rumble. Like it's silly. It's a fun one. I would give this one like a shit. Yeah, you do have the crown on the C to indicate you win a round. I'm gonna go B. I'm gonna go like in a high B on that one. We got Sonic X Shadow Generations. I adore this logo. I think, you know, the shadow with like the shadow circle with like his logo as it with the X in the background, then the X for Sonic X Shadow Generations, I always think is really cool. You could technically say it's Sonic Shadow Generations or Sonic X Shadow Generation, but this is just cool to me. You know, it's never gonna not be cool when something is this X that, right? But the way they do it with Sonic X Shadow Gens stands out a lot to me. I'll fuck with it heavy. Next thing we got Sonic Origins. Again, falls in line with kind of like the classic ones where like it's simple. The green text kind of stands out a little bit. Obviously, I like the name, but I wouldn't put it above anything like else that's in like C over here. I get some that they were missing here. So Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut. This one is like a lot because Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut. Obviously the DX is for, I guess, directors, but I always liked this logo because it's a Sonic Adventure as its own font. And then the DX always like felt really loud to me on the box with the small Director's Cut. I would have liked, you know, you choose one, either Sonic Adventure DX or do you choose Director's Cut, right? I would see. I'm gonna go B on this because I do really like it. But I would have liked if they had picked one. Either you go, if it was Sonic Adventure DX, I actually might have given it like an A, but the Sonic Adventure DX with the Director's Cut, I feel like clutters it a little bit too much. We've got Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. I'd put it on like the same tier as Sonic Adventure 2. The battle, if anything, just kind of adds to it and it looks really cool. So nothing too different on this one. How dare this website forget the Sonic Gems Collection logo. I love this one with like the Chaos Emerald in the background, you know, with the Sonic and the orange on the gems and the small like premium collections logo. Like, this to me is one of those like simple but effective A's when it comes to the logos. But at the same time, do I want to put it over like something like an R or a Dash or Adventure DX? No, I'm gonna keep my A sacred. How could this website forget Sonic Jam, which is like a D tier logo? Yeah, what is this, man? God, get out of here. I'm gonna feature the Sonic Mega Collection, which, you know, it's an okay logo. It's I don't know why I want to feature it to be. I feel like I gotta get it in there. I think we kind of cooked with this. I think we kind of cooked with this tier list. I'm pretty happy with this, but it also made me realize how much like Sonic games need some cooler logos. I think in general, video games, I'm sure, like, to be honest, I don't think it's a Sonic issue. I'm sure if we looked at most modern video games, they've got a problem with a lot of the logos are like the simplified ones, but they've had some really fun ones across the series. I actually am willing to go a little higher with the Sonic and the Secret Rings logo, because the gold and the sort of the gold and silver font with like the little standout on the flare is actually really cool. So I do want to upgrade that one. But for the most part, I think I'm happy with these placements. These are kind of my favorites, and these are kind of like the worst of the worst. But let me know in the comment section below, what is your favorite Sonic game logo? Am I crazy? Am I raw? Am I stupid? Let me know. I love you, and of course, I will see you all next time. Peace out, gang. Yo!